From this morning, every child in their first 3 years of primary school in England should now receive a free school meal.
The government says 98% of schools will provide hot food. The local government association, though, says councils are facing a £25 million shortfall in funding for the scheme. As Breakfast's John Maguire reports.
The first day back at school is often daunting, but now in England there's at least one certainty: a hot meal for 5 to 7-year-olds. Well, that's the government's plan, at least. Here in Oxford, they're racing to get ready. The biggest challenge across the country has been in schools with no existing kitchens or in remote areas. Many have had to start from scratch. And the Local Government Association says several councils have been left out of pocket by central government's grand plan.
We reckon that there's about a £25 million shortfall in the bringing together of this programme. So actually a lot of local authorities and schools will be diverting money from other areas, important areas, to put into this programme.
The government says it will support schools that are struggling. It expects the free meals to improve the overall health and education of children, and there are benefits for others too. This small firm in West Sussex will cook and deliver meals to local schools. Its business is doubling in size.
This time last year we were cooking about 600 to 650 lunches a day, and from certainly Monday next week, when all our schools are back, we'll be looking at certainly 12 to 1300.
England is the first country in the UK to adopt this policy, and it's being watched closely by the other home nations. A hot meal for every child in the first 3 years is a bold promise, but can it be fulfilled? The proof will be in the pudding. John Maguire, BBC News.
Well, let's talk to John Maguire right now. He's in southwest London. Everything in place, I understand, there this morning. But what about the rest of England? Is that the same?
Yeah, they're almost there, Louise. I think that's fair to say. The government are talking about a number in excess of 98% of schools ready to go as from this week with hot meals. Other places around the UK will try and catch up. They should be in place by around January. I know, for example, in Somerset, they will be in certain schools serving cold meals up until half term and want to go for hot meals after that. 98% out of 100 is pretty good, isn't it? One of the reasons why some of those schools haven't got to the point that this school and others have today is basically the starting point was very different. Some places didn't have kitchens, some places were in small rural schools in isolated locations, so all sorts of ingenious ideas and solutions have been devised. Some are sharing, so you get one school cooking extra meals for another neighbouring school. Some local cafes are going to be providing food for their local schools as well. So people have really tried to come up with different ideas, different ways to try and achieve this target, which of course all along has been very ambitious.
OK, John Maguire, we'll be back with you a little bit later. Thanks very much. At 7:10 here on Breakfast, we'll be asking Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg about the costs of the school meals policy.
The Home Office